Grand Rising to you. Welcome back to another Commercial Trucking Chronicles. I'm on my way to work. I haven't made that generational wealth bag yet. Still holding on to it. It's got a pop, still in pop. So until then, I'm right here, holding it down, pushing it across the great state of North Carolina. Shout out to you if you're a trucker and you're out here pushing. Keep on pushing and keep on trucking. Yeah. So, I wanted to, on my way to work, I could make a video, but since I don't have any storage on the phone, I said, well, I might as well go live. Just, you know what I'm saying? Bring you up to date, up to speed. It's Monday morning. It's been hot out here, man. It's been very hot. People running around here, falling out, man. Crashing out, man. Seen the dude out in Oklahoma or wherever, Arizona, he was running around cutting people. Dude had to draw down on him, make him drop the knife. I'd have dropped it too. Okay. Running around out here, slashing people. That happens in New York all the time. So people crash out up here and do that, like, and what? You know what I'm saying? So I noticed that, like, you know what I'm saying, a lot of my views, I ain't been really post much, but my views went down. And I'm thinking YT's trying to, you know what I'm saying, like, shadow ban you, boy, because of the content. Now, I like to bring education to you, information to you, you know what I'm saying, and there's some of the latest trends, you know, but I don't think they want me talking about the you know what, you see what I'm saying, because it looks like they just want us all out, you know, you got to think, we live in a corporate environment. The States is a corporation, so everything that you do out here, everything that we do, our lives are so affected by a lot of the corporate decisions that are made. You know what I'm saying? These corporations making a lot of decisions that are affecting our lives because we live in a corporate environment. This country is a corporation. So all the citizens are subject to, you know what I'm saying, corporate decisions. All the citizens, you're a working class citizen, you're subject to the corporate decisions as far as your life and your lifestyle going to go, because everything comes down from corporate. So ain't an American that's out here that's not affected by these big corporations, what they decide. You know what I'm saying? And then the politicians. But like I said, corporate America, we live in that type. We live in a corporate environment. So, and the corporate, they want more. We want more. Their goal is to keep pushing. They ain't thinking about, they make no decisions with us, keeping in mind, you know, like, okay, we need to get more out of these people. So let's have them do umpteen amount of hours, but you got to pay them less. Like, everybody out here is struggling. And everybody, and your boss, if you want to fire your boss, you know what I'm saying? Like, good luck with that. He got you by the balls. You know what I'm saying? He's going to either give you more hours or he's going to cut you off. So you got to get out of the situation, figure out a way out of that situation and shit. It's like, man, come on, man. How do we figure this thing out? And how does it, like, a level playing field for everybody? We can get back to where, you know what I'm saying, we have some sense of pride with what we do. People doing things they hate, you know? And things that are not good for them. It's maybe not good for you to, you know, sit on your behind all day at home and work from home. You need to get off your behind, you know? I mean, that's just, like, there was a mass layoff of, in certain parts of certain industries, it's mass layoffs going on. It's massive layoffs. Some people just sit home and get, you know, they're getting told what to do. Jay on. All right, Ann. Good morning. So, a lot of corporate people work from home, unless they're in the office. They're probably working from their cars. You never know where they work. But the decisions that they kind of made is affecting, they're gonna be working on a yacht somewhere. Oh, well, we're gonna scale back. That contract ain't paying us enough to give these guys that contract. We're not buying no new equipment. We getting new equipment around here, so somebody doing something right. You feel me? Somebody doing something right. I'll say double right. This is double rights. You know what I'm saying? When the price is right, they doubling down. Shout out to that, to the one who came up with that idea. But if you look at it, a lot of times you see a lot of growth in some companies on the corporate level, and you don't see any, the people. They're not the workers. They're not. You know what I'm saying? Like they get more hours, but you would think, you know what I'm saying? They're growing. They're just keeping up with, the rising tide. And so as the tide gets, pardon me, my signal is gonna go in and out over here, so I don't want this to be too long of a video. I just want it to be something. I mean, I know my views and stuff have come down. Please help me get the algorithm back up and running. So smash the like button if you could do that. If you're trying to, fire your boss, smash the like button. If you're trying to level up, if you're trying to grow your plans, just hit the like button, man. Get that message out there. And to all you bosses out there, man, you know what? It's nothing. You know what? You can network with, the next guy anyway, so keep the corporate, establishment, keep it running and, weigh it out. Keep the whole, I can't eat the whole pie, so I'm gonna allow this to eat. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you do that there, man. You just level up the playing field. But if God trying to level up so you can get up to where you can, sit down at the table with you, by all means, man, it's good when everybody can grow. And that's why I think, sometimes corporate don't think like that. And as a matter of fact, corporate don't think like that. You know what I'm saying? The owners, they usually don't think like that. What they keep in mind is growing the business and their bottom line, and I respect that, because that's the corporate mentality. You can't get into this game and you don't think like that, and you can't open up a business and not think about the bottom line. So the bottom line doesn't include any and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? We can do business together, but at the same time, you can't have the whole pie. And then it's crazy because some people, they would get mad because your slice of pie bigger. It's supposed to be you the boss, you the corporate. So I can't be mad at corporate for eating. They eating because they supposed to. They got there to be, you know what I'm saying? They got there because they're breadwinners. And not only that, right? Sometimes you just get, come on, you coming up the ranks with us. You get that. You know what I'm saying? People hit their way in to get to the top. So people do other things to get to the top. You see what I'm saying? People do a lot of things to get to the top. you got a whole lot of bootlicking going on too. You see what I'm saying? But hard work seems like it don't really get too rewarded. In a lot of aspects, especially in the corporate world, because I cut you off, man. Another corporate wig, buff guy, and he go behind your back, take and rent and get you and take your whole idea. I run the corporation. It's the greed factor, man. And if I could pull it up right now, as far as these market things are concerned, I looked it up last night. We're at 80. No, I'm sorry. I think it's 68% greed right now. 68%, because when you look at everything is being marginalized, or is being looked at, in terms of graphs and measuring, growth, especially when you're taking a loss. People want to grow quarterly by 10, 15%. Some people just, they go for their annual growth at the end of the year. So at the beginning of the year, they know they're taking a loss. Later in the year, they're going to make up for that. So everything's just looked at as far as those numbers. So, but the greed factor, when there's fat on the bone and everybody's like chowing down, we getting these contracts, we going after this, the business is growing, we doing our thing, like, everybody get greedy. And there's certain times when you have to get greedy, especially when there's perfect opportunities that are out here, you gotta bid high, you know what I'm saying? Because you're not gonna have really no competition, so you might as well take the whole thing. And then you gotta share some of that. So you already know to bid high to include other people. So that's like a lot of these unions that are out here, as far as in the trucking community, they go in, they're greedy, they bid high. But I'm not saying, but they put it in the right numbers that we're going to give the cost of living increase and stuff like that, for the workers. And then what happens? Corporate agrees to the contract, the unions come in, and next thing you know, they don't renew the contract, or they're ready to cancel the contract midway through because they see they're paying too much. So what happened was, when the union came in, they were greedy. Or, somebody saying, well, we made that contract agreement to prevent from having to strike, or to prevent from, having layoffs or people quit, because of, a lot of conditions. So my knee is bothering. So yeah, so that's like how it is, like with the unions. The Reaper is in the house. The Reaper is in the house. Shout out to the Reaper, first thing on Monday morning. He's out here running around. Trying to slash jobs. I ain't mad at you. I mean, it happens. People losing their minds, but you know what? People who've been losing their jobs for years. The Reaper been out here taking people out for a long time. It's nothing new, It's part of the corporate thing, man. I'm just being real, sir. But and another thing I say too, like, so it's kind of rough and tough and hard, and everybody's like, don't lend no money out, man. Don't fall for these sob stories, a lot of these, I ain't, look, these women, a lot of them got sob stories. A lot of them, they don't. They just come to you with it. Like, look, I need some money. Nigga boy. Like, for what? What you mean, for what? I need some money, nigga boy. You better just go get the money. Go get the money. Go get the money. That's all you can do. That's it. They ain't got it mercifully. They want the money, you better give it. You better have it. You ain't got it, boy. And you ain't getting it back. I'll give it back to you, nigga boy. You're right. You get your money back for her, man. Shit. Good Lord. I'm just saying. My day is just getting started. And I'm trying to make this the best day, start the week out. I'm gonna have to Weather's looking nice, so I'm just gonna have to play it by. I'm saying. And I hope y'all have a good day too. I hope you have a good day too, man. Good. I'll get you some coffee. You know what I'm saying? Get you some coffee. Got me some coffee. Start my morning. Start my day. Got a little commute time, so I figure I'd come up here and just check in with y'all. But do me a favor, if you haven't subscribed, man, do me a favor, subscribe, bro. Help me get some of the numbers up. Help me keep the channel, relevant. There's a lot of channels out here that you could be watching. So, if you're coming over here and checking me out, man, I appreciate you. Shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? I can hit the like button for that. I can hit the like button for you. I like that. So, but the hours are starting to get long. But the days are just long, working more and more and more and more. Like, the people, a lot of companies, man, I don't know, man. For a second, it was almost as if there was like a truck shortage or, ain't no loads for people and stuff like that. But in all actuality, there's plenty of, there's work out here, man. You know what I'm saying? If the company that you with ain't got it, man, they probably lost their contract, about to lose their contract, or, you know what I'm saying, there's somebody coming in to try to underbid them, and so, things are slow for the jobs, and also, a lot of companies, because they're trying to invest in a lot of that tech, a lot of work. But as far as the government's concerned, they're making these people still put people in the vehicle. Like you can't just go out and invest all this money into autonomous vehicles and then slash your workforce by just literally keeping your mechanics because you got these robots riding around. I don't even know if they're going to really pass a law in all of these states that will allow that for you to have an autonomous vehicle, regardless of how efficient they may have proven themselves to be in certain situations. Like they have them working in rail yards. There's a lot of movement going on, but I've been in the rail yards before. They got these things working in these distribution facilities, and if they can go around in a distribution facility and find a product on a shelf somewhere, they can actually find a container at a shipping yard. So there's really not some whole big, it's a task that they can't perform. They're they're doing the work. There's just not legislation that's allowing them to just, be, legal to have it in every state. There's certain states have it. I'm sure, it's not like there's a port in every state, okay? So those couple states where there's a port that they use for, just bringing the, containers in off the ships, I'm sure they have, whichever ones have it, they have them things working on it, right? So, maybe it's in a pilot phase and they're just starting out with it or something. Can't tell you, but I do know that I've seen them on the road. I've been, especially coming through Texas, in New Mexico, I see them too. So a lot of companies, they're investing a lot of the money. They're cutting back, and actually, to be honest, right? They'll fold the business, start another one, and it could be. Let's just project, okay? All right. Say I have this big company, a trucking company, and I'm gonna And I'm going to let some workforce because I'm going to, invest in some of this new automation and stuff, right? So I'm projecting like, I can get that start another business, I can get that up and running within 2 to 5 years. Okay, if I invest now, I'll be an early investor, have autonomous whatever. I can start setting up accounts or trying to get them, right? While they're creating these charging stations in certain locations that I'm trucking is all geographic. So, if I'm going to try and, work within a certain area, all right, so charging stations, you kind of do your homework to look into it to see the profitability, and then you try to scale the business or you launch, your plan and you get the funding. Then you go in and try to get get the contracts, once you get the funding. So, if I'm putting together this whole blueprint and I got a whole corporation going on over here that I'm gonna use this money once I close my doors and fund that. I got all that money over the next 4 or 5 years. I done let everybody go. Now I just jump into something new, right? Nobody knows it's a whole new business. I'm starting it. You know what I'm saying? I got my business plan together. By the time innovation and adoption and legislation kicks in, I'm already embedded. I got contracts and I'm rolling. Now I'm sitting back and I ain't got to worry about, hiring somebody or you know what I mean? Like, it takes, I can see the profitability in doing something like that, going into full automation. But all the people that are going to be displaced as far as work, when you say, oh, I'm a displaced worker, you know what I'm saying? I've been put out of work because of something like, an injury, or I'm a displaced worker because of technology. I didn't go back to school, everything at the job upgraded. So, they didn't have, they can only train so many people. So in the meantime, I'm out of work until I can get some training, or if they pay for me to go to school. It's not that type of displacement. Once AI takes your job, your job is gone. You're not getting it back unless you come in there as a robot. Go get you some robot. Go get you some robot attachments and stuff in there. Then you can come into work. I don't know what to say. Once AI takes your job, it's too, man. You gotta find something. I got an A. I got a class A. I got a class A license, a hazmat, a tanker, a twig, doubles. I was gonna get the passengers. So, I've been driving for 10 years. I own 2 trucks. I still own them. They pay cash for them. And a 53, which is a class B. And that's what it is, man. I'll drive whatever gonna pay the bills. You know what? I got the license. I can drive anything. I can operate machines. I can do whatever I want to do if I put my mind to it, and you can too. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to get an A, just go back and get the endorsements for the A, or just go. Well, you gotta learn how to do a lot of maneuvers and stuff. You probably pass that test if you have a license. If you don't have a license. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, get your money. And I'm gonna say this, like all the new people that's young and probably might be thinking about wanting to get into the trucking industry and stuff like that. Like right now, because there is a lot of work, there's no shortage of drivers. There's a lot of companies out here. You know what I'm saying? Like they will hire you and they'll put you right to work. They're not gonna pay you. Like if you have no experience, they're not gonna pay you. What you're worth. You're not gonna get that. Because after you get your license, you're a professional driver with no experience, but you're professional. Professionals coming into their field usually get paid a very good amount of money, and as they seasoned and they become more and more, veterans in that field, then the pay goes up. But you will start at the bottom. But even for a professional driver, your pay should actually be, as a professional salary, way more money than than what you're gonna get. It's way more money than what you should be getting, or you should be getting even coming in new. Because okay, you gotta learn, you gotta go on the job, you're gonna be getting experience, but you're in a field that has a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Like you take all responsibility for this vehicle and all responsibility for the cargo, and all that stuff falls on you. And they're not giving that cargo or that daggone piece of equipment that costs all this money to nobody that doesn't have a professional license. So therefore, you look at how important it is to have that license, that you become a professional. When you get your first job, if they're not paying you and your money is not looking like it's supposed to be, just know that you need to just get some more years under your belt. But you might be having to go find somewhere else to go. After you've given at least about a year, they don't start paying you like you're supposed to. But you're gonna have to take what you can get when you first come in the door, because you're coming in on the ground floor. You're a professional, but they ain't even really like, yeah. You know what I tell you? Man, go drop the load off, man. Oh, you don't want to take the load? All right, sit right there. You be sitting there for days. Your dispatcher gonna say, I got you a good load. It might not even be a good load, but to him, it's a good load. You're a rookie. Once you buck, man, he gonna have you sit. I used to do it all the time. They taught me a lesson, but I taught them a lesson too. They tried to turn my fuel card off, but I was using my personal credit card, and I started headed home. They're like, where's he going? I'm going home. They cut the fuel card off. I said, well, then finally got me a load. Up in Jersey somewhere, and it brought me way back out to a whole other part of the country, because I was headed up to the East Coast. But they really, I guess, had me plan to go somewhere else, and I just bucked them. I'm like, I'm not taking the load. I don't want that load. You know what I'm saying? The miles didn't look good. And don't lease, please. Don't go out there and get into a lease, man. Don't do no leasing if you're just coming into trucking, bro. You know what you need to do? Like I said, just take yourself. Because by the time you get your settlements, get your money, and they got your money in an escrow, nobody wants that. You don't want your money in an escrow. You want your money in your account. So, do me a favor, right? Don't let nobody talk you into going and leasing a truck. I know people want to own their own trucks. Leasing is not the way to go, because you never. How many people don't lease that truck before you, right? And then they winded up turning it back in. So, yeah, I know they'll feed you the line that, well, as a lease driver, you can pick and choose which loads you don't want to do. So there's no forced dispatch. You know what I'm saying? And then you could work for the company, and kind of, you have a relationship now with your dispatcher where you could be like, man, I don't want to go out there. I don't want to go over there. I'm not going. Don't send me here. Don't send me there. That gives you have that type of you have that type of say when it comes to what the truck does, because you're leasing it. You're supposed to be going to be owning this truck eventually, right? We're going to let you pay it off. So you gotta work, you gotta run, you gotta be able to get some loads. And if you turning down loads, how are you gonna pay it off? And the price is already way too high, right? How much they charging for the truck? You can't be a new truck driver and you lease the truck. just get a license and you don't have no experience with trucking, knowing about any type of, you know, ooh, they got some nice trucks over here, man. Look at this. For sale, they got the Western Stars out that bad boy. Look at them bad boys. Ooh, they selling machines too. Every time I come over here, I see they be having a lot of equipment out there. And then somebody comes along and buys them. Or maybe they're leasing them. Right. Usually hands free, but I just want to show y'all that. But yeah, man, so, I'm supposed to be here. I'm right on time. I think I'm supposed to be here at 7:30, it's 7:05. Or maybe I'm supposed to be here at 7 o'clock. But it's 7:05, so, there's one guy. Is he loaded? Yep, he's loaded. Guy's low. All right. Guy's low. People over there at Bojangles this morning. Getting the Bojangle breakfast. Right, here I am arriving at the spot. I'm supposed to be here for 7 o'clock. It is 7:06. It's all good. We made it. All right, brother. I'm here. Made it. All right, I gotta go. I have a blessed, prosperous day. Be safe out there. Appreciate everybody that is in the live with me. Anybody watch this? I'm gonna put it up as a public post because I know that YouTube will put it as a private post. But yeah, just be very cautious out here, man. You know what I'm saying? In this day and time, like people are crashing out. You know what I'm saying? And if you do have a job or something, man, hold on to it. Just give it your all. You know, you gotta take care of home. You got things you gotta take care of. So everybody, you know, frustration and stuff like that. Morning, sir. Frustration and stuff like that, man. Leave that stuff outside the workplace, man. You know, this dude goes into Walmart. I can't believe it. Just start cutting people. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, just start cutting people. And when people, they charge him as being a terrorist now. So, man, I tell you about the mindset and the people's psychological, their state of mind, running around just, you know. But like I say, do that in New York all the time, man. People just crash out and go on to run through the subway, just giving people $1.50. Well, we over here hitting it hard. That's all we can do right now. Hey, man, I remember this before I let you go. Remember this. It ain't always how much you make. It's just that it needs to be consistent, right? So you want to have, you know, currency is a flow, because, you know, when you think about how the current is, or the water, you know what I'm saying? So currency means, you know, you have money constantly coming in. So you want to keep a consistent flow of cash. You need cash flow, right? Now all of this is pretty much This is like Nordic talk. You know what I'm saying? And the reason it's kind of it's the Nordic talk. It's just like, you know, we studying everything with, you know what I'm saying, with these numbers, you know, and everything is a representation of, you know, the how things flow at sea. And me and my, you know, a friend of mine, good close friend of mine, my homie, man, we go way back. We were talking about that, you know, because as the tide rises and then it comes on the land, the water will come onto the land, you know, that's because the current, it's just like a currency. So when any boat that's in the harbor is going to rise. So when the tide rises, it's just like when the current flow, you know, it is the levels, you know, because you can be beneath sea level or above sea level. When you notice that on the land, there's certain areas where they mark the land that just so many you know, feet or however many, you know, miles or whatever, how many above sea level. You know what I'm saying? So there's markings all through every city where there is a benchmark for you to tell what where the sea level, how high above sea level you are on the land. So as the tides rise and the water meets the land, and it, you know, you still, you know, we we keep a record of that as humans. We keep a record of the tides and the levels, right? And the tide is nothing but flow of water, right? So when you have a flow of money, you have currency, which is the water. It's current. It's things that all have significance, and it's all Nordic talk. You know, if you talk about it, we really talked about it, had that discussion. And those numbers, yeah, that's how they know how you know how to find land and chart their way, you know what I'm saying, out on the oceans and stuff, using all these different, you know, measurements, and you know, like it's so intellectually, it's deep, and it's like the depths of the sea. So some people that are kind of like lost out here, they're beneath sea level. The water, the tides of life and everything is just they're sinking and drowning. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean. Like it's not a game. So you gotta be on a conscious level to be able to, you know, survive out here. So don't be just, you know, letting any influencer influence you about things that's not going to help you to rise up above some of these tides and these waters and these things that's, you know what I'm saying, just like come and overtake the land and drown out the people, and you know what I'm saying. Don't listen to people that's not trying to help you elevate, man. Don't. You're wasting your time, you know. So I'm about to get off of here and get my butt ready. Got to do a couple things, my paperwork. I'm here, so I will shout out to y'all another time. Appreciate you watching this video. It's been long enough, about 40 minutes now. All right. Appreciate y'all riding to work with me this morning, yo. Peace out. Be safe.